An Iowa facility for mentally and physically challenged patients is subject to a massive investigation. Accusations range from unethical experiments on subjects to poor care leading to increase in deaths. 3 News Now investigator Jeff Van Sant delves into a highly critical report by the Department of Justice about the Glenwood Resource Center in Iowa and what comes next.
In December, the U.S. Justice Department released a report alleging the Glenwood Resource Center, run by the Iowa State Department of Human Services, violated the constitutional rights of its severely disabled patients.
Seth's medication was changed abruptly. He had been on seizure medications for 35 years.
Sybil Finken's 41-year-old son lives at the center. She says without her permission, staff took him off his medication he's been on for decades.
What had happened to Seth was he was like a drug addict. When they took him off all of his seizure meds, he was just wild. He couldn't be touched. He didn't want anybody touching him, and he was very combative. And Seth is, the doctors said they wanted to wake him up. And I said, why? You know, he's been comfortable all these years. Just leave him alone.
She says the trouble began under the leadership of Superintendent Jerry Ray. The DOJ says the now former superintendent, quote, embarked on an initiative to conduct experiments on residents in order to make Glenwood relevant.
I think he wanted it to be, he said, a research facility. I think he wanted to use our loved ones as guinea pigs.
The DOJ says under Ray's leadership, patients involved in one study were given increasing amounts of fluid, mostly through a feeding tube, leading to overhydration. The DOJ says it's dangerous for patients, leading to increasing cases of pneumonia. One person, prior to the 11-month-long study, had 2 pneumonias, and during it, he had 6. This DOJ chart shows pneumonia cases increasing after Ray became superintendent in 2017 until his firing in 2019.
A lot of these patients are profoundly disabled and they can't swallow. So by controlling how much water you can give them, you can control how much they suck into their lungs, and pneumonia and death. Well, all of a sudden doctors were overruled and told to give them a lot of water.
Attorney Tom White represents 6 former employees, including doctors and administrators, who alerted the DOJ about issues at the facility. They filed a lawsuit claiming they faced wrongful termination and violated Iowa's whistleblower law.
There were different things that triggered the firing or the pressuring or the termination of our clients. Our clients are the people who tried to stop this and were fired, forced out.
The DOJ alleges improper care led to a sharp increase in deaths at Glenwood for a variety of reasons. This graph shows a sharp increase beginning in 2017. The report says, quote, Glenwood frequently leaves residents at serious risk of harm or death by ignoring changes in conditions outright or by adopting a clinically unjustified wait-and-see approach.
They wanted to, quote, make the institution relevant. So they started suggesting using people who are really so mentally compromised they can't consent legally to anything, using them as subjects in experiments that are really beyond awful.
In 2018, a resident named Benjamin Drisden suffered from bowel obstructions, begging to go to the hospital, and wasn't taken immediately. The obstruction ruptured and killed him. The report says Glenwood's unresponsiveness to his initial complaint gave him virtually no chance of survival. The director of the Department of Human Resources was sacked along with Ray in 2019. The new director vows to fix the center's issues. The department says it's, quote, in the process of reviewing these findings. We have been in a collaborative role in this process from day one. Governor Kim Reynolds said in a statement, I am committed to bringing all the tools and state resources needed to address the challenges at the facility. There's no telling what the future might hold for the facility. It's one of the largest employers in the town of Glenwood. As for the lawsuit, the next court appearance is set for early February. For Sybil, she says new leadership is welcoming and change needs to come fast, but doesn't want to see the facility shut down.
It's not the facility that's bad. It was the leadership.
Jeff Van Sant, 3 News Now.